Okay, now I'm live on YouTube and let's go live on Facebook and we can get this started. And now live. Okay, trying to go live on Facebook. It's taking longer than it should. Why is that? Yeah, I don't want to do all those extra things. No, I don't want that. Connecting stream to software to go. Okay, got a couple people joining us on IG. Give me a moment. Just trying to get everything moving on Facebook. I don't want that feature either. Facebook, why are you making it so difficult? Just go ahead and let's get to the business. Yeah, okay. Access to camera. Not allowing live producer access. Okay, well, we're not going live on Facebook. We're just gonna go with YouTube and we're gonna keep it moving. They're making it too difficult. Look, people, good people. Glad to be back with you. Just want to simply give a recap of day 2 live, our day 2 live. So yesterday, we were going through the 3 pillars of evolution. 3 pillars of evolution. Just for purposes, if I'm looking here, talk directly to you, IG. If I'm here, YouTube, directly to you. So we got the cameras. So on yesterday, we talked about the 3 pillars of evolution. You got to go through some form of physical renewal. You got to go through some form of financial renewal, and you got to go through some form of emotional renewal. So with those being the pillars of evolution, and us agreeing that evolution is a good thing, evolution is the gift of living. Once you've experienced some things and you've sifted and you sorted and you had some contrast of things that you love, things that you don't love, things that you like, things that you don't like, it allows you to keep optimizing and refining where you want to be in this gift that we call life. Okay, so yesterday, our focus was specifically on physical renewal. And we talked about some of the challenges that people have with making time for their physical well-being. And we kind of debunked a few things. We talked about that the biggest thing that gets in the way of you having that body and having those internal numbers where they need to be, internal numbers, BMI, internal numbers, your cholesterol, internal numbers, your blood pressure, and specifically people of color, Black and brown people. We need to be much more in tune with those internal numbers because historically we've had some really bad outcomes. Case in point, the pandemic. Our community was probably the most affected community globally. Why? Because we didn't really have good health conditions going in. And when you're not resilient and when you're not robust on the front end of a trauma, coming out the back end of a trauma is just even worse. And, for me and my family, we kind of experienced this on the front line. Number one, my son worked at one of our area hospitals, Rochester General Hospital, and he saw people from maintenance. He saw people from the cleaning staff, be exposed to the pandemic and succumb to it. We saw people in our church. We saw people, my best friend is a medical doctor. Many of his clients, because they're older, have family members Thank you I appreciate the compliment. I'm the man. You're the man too, my friend. Love you, IG. He had family, my best friend who runs a medical clinic down in New Orleans for pain management, had their, grandchildren and their children not observe any of these, social distancing rules, bring the pandemic home. And in some cases, he had some clients that had 2 or 3 members pass away. So what is my point? My point is, if there was nothing that we got out of the pandemic, and I'm not talking about any of the political nonsense that went on, whatever side of the aisle you lean towards, left, right, I'm indifferent. I said, what did we learn from it? What did we learn from it? We need to learn that if you have a systemic history of poor health conditions, you got to take charge of your health. So on yesterday, we talked about some of the obstacles from physical renewal. Okay. A lot of it is people are thinking that, I appreciate the comment. I love the poster too. People are thinking that your physical, to get your physical awakening, renewal, it has to be you spending 1 million hours in the gym. No, that's not. The way you reduce BMI, the reason that I'm called 100K up and 100-pound down teacher and preacher is because that was my journey. I went up $100,000 because I learned about AirBnB passive income. And I went down 100 pounds because once I started adopting certain mindsets and certain disciplines, it was easier to incorporate that into my lifestyle transition. And I was able to take the weight off and maintain it. Okay, so what I want to speak to is yesterday was amazing. Today's going to be better. The reason that tonight's challenge is going to be better is because I would not have been able to have the disciplines of taking off the weight. I would not have been able to have the disciplines of maintaining the weight off if I didn't put myself in a position to be around people of a particular mindset. And because they had a mindset of abundance and not scarcity, I was able to mentally get myself out of a self-imposed prison that I had for 3 decades, thinking that I couldn't be spiritual and be rich at the same time. Like, in order to be a follower of Jesus Christ, you got to take some vow of poverty. No one told that to me, but somehow in my life conditioning, I bought into that. And I don't think I'm alone. I think there's a lot of people who are very spiritual and feel like they have to choose between being an entrepreneur and being a Christian, or being an entrepreneur and being a good Jew, or being a good Muslim. I think that there's a question in some people's mind that spirituality and the Bible, or spirituality and business, don't coexist, and they absolutely do. I think the most spiritual people are the people that take a shot on themselves and become entrepreneurial. And the reason I say that is because you learn to walk by faith and not by sight. So growing up in a family where my dad was extremely entrepreneurial, to the point where he one of his last businesses, believe it or not, he bought a farm. And if you know anything about growing up on the farm, you're going to invest time, money, and effort into the ground. You're going to bury that work in the ground in the belief that something's going to come up. And that's what business is. Business is, you're not trading time for dollars. You're not trading money for salary. One of the biggest insights is the way we get tricked into a 9-to-5 existence is they give you a salary, and then they give you health benefits, and then they give you a couple of weeks where you have vacation, and then they may give you this employee appreciation day, and we get lulled into a false sense of security. So here's what I know, guys. I know that it doesn't matter whether you are Muslim, Jewish, Christian, white, black, purple, Republican, Democrat. If you're an entrepreneur, it's not about who's in the White House. It's what personal responsibility are you taking in your house? And I want to share that tonight. I want to welcome all of you guys back to our Facebook group tonight at 7 p.m. We're going to talk about what allowed me to get out of the rat race. And it was through passive Airbnb income. You know, me and my wife started out not knowing much, but having a desire. And when you have a phenomenal will, you can have a mediocre skill. Your creator will put you in relationship with people that can teach you, and they can connect you with people that know things that you don't know. All right. The biggest thing that I was sharing on yesterday's live is that it's important to focus on not on the how, but the who. If you find the right who, they can connect you with the how. So in this world of, you know, the internet and DIY and doing all the research, don't research how to do things. Research who's already doing it at a high level, and then figure out how you can create value for that person so you can learn what they learned and earn what they earned. So that's what I did. I met a gentleman who was in Rochester, New York, who had shifted his traditional real estate holdings to Airbnb. And he showed me not only how to understand the short-term rental space, where I use a very unique strategy called rental arbitrage. And I have a very unique market where I work on business travelers and not vacationers. But he also showed me how to capitalize on the midterm rental space market, where I now work with insurance companies. And, you know, case in point, I got 2 of my properties here in upstate New York that are being occupied by families that have had a recent fire damage. Think about that as an opportunity. You do a little better in your returns than your traditional short-term, your traditional landlording model. And I'm excited. I'm excited to share it with you guys. So excited, guys, that we start at 7 o'clock p.m. Please be here. And I have a standing event at 5 o'clock where I'm supposed to be at our local real estate association August picnic. I'm leaving that picnic early so I can give and pour into you guys. So I'm leaving early. So if you have not done so, please do the following. This was the assignment. This was the assignment for last night's challenge. And it's called a challenge for a reason, because it's not just for me to spew information or how many books I've read or what insights I've come to, or to quote on what I have or what I don't have. It's for me to force the issue to help you to evolve. Because my journey was inspired by someone else's journey. And hopefully my journey can inspire your journey. So here's what's the homework assignment. And so what I'm asking you to do, if you currently are not a part of my Facebook group, I want you to hit the link in my bio or in the comment section below, join my Facebook group. And then I want you to go live with the following insights. Yesterday's homework was share how you spent 30 to 40 minutes moving. Physical renewal is about moving. The body was meant for motion. Number 2, share out 5 to 6 items that you consumed from 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. that day, because physical renewal don't start in the gymnasium, it starts in the kitchen. It's about, you know, utilizing foods that are natural and not man-made. The way you know something is natural is when you walk into your department store, when you walk into your Walmart, when you walk into your Wegmans, go to the outer edges of the store. You'll see produce. You'll see vegetables. You'll see meats. You'll see all of these man-made, these non-man-made things that are consumed by nature. They're natural. Now you walk the middle aisles. That's all the synthetic. That's all this process. That's all the man-made stuff that you want to mitigate. You want to shift. The reason that we do a food diary in my academy is we want to raise awareness. Because if you are aware of all the processed convenient foods you eat, you don't want to put them on paper. You don't want to commit to putting that in your journal. So what you'll do, you'll be more mindful when you're eating. So guys, that was my time. Again, if you're not a part of our Facebook group, join the link in the comment section or in the bio, and I'll see you tonight. Amen and God bless. All right. And remember, God wants you to win. And so do I. You got this. Night, Facebook.